Right, so a little bit of wall up there, right in the middle, where there's like a little grate on it. Well, that's going to feature in a minute, so just be aware of where it is in the overall context of the wall. Okay, 1990 now. This bit of wall here is being built. You can see the grid down there, or the grill, and you can also notice on the Clifton flats up there, there's scaffolding because they're being built. So 1990, here we go. Well, there we go, 1990, this bit of wall being built. Lovely. Not quite sure if this is going to line up because I haven't got the photo, so you may or may not see this. But if it does line up, there's Tesco's, was a garage. There's some flats, there's Golden Crown. Well, this is it when it was the Talbot / first and last pub, right in this location. Here you go. Like I say, hopefully that lined up. All good. Here we are, Orchard Gardens in the 1900s, roughly from here. Slightly further out on the road if we're going to be technical, but I don't want to get run over. I've got one foot in the road as it is. Here you go. So there we go, 1900s, Orchard Gardens. Lovely. Here we go, that's about lined up, and you'll see the garage on the right and what it looked like on the left, and of course it was flooded. Here we go. Now I don't have an exact date for that, but like I say, it was a flood, one of them, many floods in town, and that was here where the garage was. And then and now, here's another flood photo, taken approximately here. Exact date unknown, I'm afraid. You can see the King's Arms in the background in the photo. What was going to become Franco's, and a little bit of the side street, because that Vin McCall's was actually a garage. But that's another story. Which brings me on to my first then and now of the day. And just so you know, I won't be showing the photos like I usually do twice, because I'll be doing a quick succession of them as I walk up that hill. So they'll only be shown once, so be prepared to pause. Anyway, here's the first then and now. 1923 I've got this stated at, just here. Now, exact date unknown on this one, but could that be the same rock over there, behind those flowers, by that door, as in this picture? Well, you'll notice it says Hillview on that white building, but that's the old post office. Got quite a few shots of that. Try and line some up for you. Here we go, just here at what was the old post office, 1935. And if you look carefully, you can just about make out where the door used to be. Slightly different patching on the render. Here's another photo of the door from taken from further up. Yep, 1929. And there's still more to come. There we are, the old post office indeed. Looking up the road now, 1935 this one. The house on the left, there's on the right, sorry, very much the same. Crazy. Now looking back down the road again, pop back to 1935, shall we? There you go. Crazy. And finally I want to get up here to get my last shot looking down at the old entrance to the farm. And finally looking back down that main road we've just walked up, you'll notice over there on the right is Manor Farm now. It used to be called Court Farm, and here's a picture undated, but I put it, well, possibly later than the 30s but before the 50s. There you go. Here we are. Remember I said about a caravan park earlier? Well, this is it here. It's called Bronze Rock now. Bronze Rock View Park. You enter in up there, but it used to be a proper traditional caravan park back in the day. It was called the Smugglers Caravan Park. Here's a photo of it in 1957. Bottom entry to the caravan park we were talking about, and I believe this would have been the main entry back in the day, because the Smugglers Lane is just over there. That makes sense why it would be called the Smugglers Caravan Park. It's the chip shop on the corner that's going to feature, along with the Devon Arms Hotel there. But more importantly, we're looking at the old stable entrance there, where they would take the horses and carts in and stable the horses overnight. So let's line him up. Here we go, roughly lined up. Another one of these ones where I don't have an exact date, I'm afraid, but it was flooding again. There we go, flooding in Northumberland Place by the Devon Arms Hotel. Cool. Tea on the quay. Wonder what it used to look like many years ago. Tea on the quay, Northumberland Place. Here we go, Brunswick Street. Okay, so not so much a then and now, where I show you something back in time, or a then and then, or now and then. What we're talking about is down here. You see where the car park is in the distance? That was going to be a Premier Inn, and where that blue fencing is. But that all fell through due to COVID. So what they decided to do was to change the plan to the new health centre and to push them upwards from the corner where the old Brunswick Press used to be, further down, to here where the car park is now. So what I'd like to try and do for you is to do the reverse of the then and now and show you what it's supposed to look like here. I think this is about it, give or take tuppence. Here you go. So whether or not that'll ever come to fruition or not, I've no idea, but I'll keep you updated if I ever find out. That's where it'll be if it takes place, in there behind the blue fence, and this car park will be removed, and that's where it'll be. The new Teignmouth Health Centre, right in the middle of town, with absolutely no parking, because they got rid of the car park. Perfect. A quickie, Clifton House. We looked at this the other day. Used to be Clifton Hotel. Demolished in 1990. Quick shot of it now. I'll flash up that you've seen already the other day. But here's what I'm actually doing today. This is a shot of the hotel from about here, I think, being demolished in 1990. There you go. So that was built in 1990 along with this part of the seawall. Right, this won't line up exactly because we've not got the right angle on it and it's a vertical picture, but you look at the very last house there, you'll see that in it with the circular window at the top, and you'll also notice there's a central shelter which I never knew about on the seafront, which makes it quite old, along with a pile of whalebones, about different ones from the ones I've done before. Here we go. So I placed that shelter around about here in the skate park, which was of course the swimming pool back in the day, and the boating lake before that. So I'd say probably around there we're looking at for the shelter, going by the houses behind. Anyway, that was another pile of whalebones on the seafront. Date unspecified. Sorry. For a then and now, or a long time ago and now. Long time ago as in before the lighthouse even. Can't exactly line this up simply because it's a drawing and it's not exactly drawn to scale, but you'll recognise from the main things on it where we're looking at with the cinema and everything. So here we go. This is years and years ago, a drawing of this area. Certainly looks a bit different without the seafront and all the stuff built, but you can still make out the cinema and the Royal Hotel, as was, which are over there, still visible almost through the bushes and that. Yeah, all good. Okay, so we're going along here, and as you know, just to the left, the end of this little wall here, is what was the Clifton Hotel, which became the Clifton Flats back in 1990. What I'm going to try and do now is to line up an old picture from many years ago, before they'd even sort of had all the huts selling ice cream here, back when it was a house. Here we go, that's lined up. Let's go back in time. Pretty cool, unusual angle. But as you can see, the houses there, the Eastcliff Court flats and that, still the same, and that chimney's still the same in the centre. Anyway, that's what it used to look like here, back before all the seawall was built, and it was just a normal house with gardens. Then and now in the evening, notice the lighthouse right over on the right hand side, notice Powderham Terrace on the left hand side, and here we go, back in time. So there we go, that was roughly here. Can't get the exact angle of course, it's all the levels have changed, the level of the land and that. That's basically right, you work out from that, no problem. Crazy. But today's then and nows are focused around the repairs to this fountain, and I'm going to say 1995. Now I might be completely wrong on that, I might have picked that up from somewhere and I don't know why, but it's not so much the fact that the fountain is being rebuilt, it's more the background as well. So we'll start off here first of all with a shot from here roughly. You'll notice that Boots is still visible in the background. The Words and Picture Gallery is a computer shop, and the Coasters Cafe in the Fountain Court hasn't been built yet, and the Scallywags Barbers just up there is as it used to be. Anyway, here's the first one. Let's see if we can line that up. Yeah, possibly I was a bit close last time. This might be a bit nearer to it. But let's get close again, but then put in the central block on a little bit later on. Probably about here. There we go, possibly a slightly lower angle was needed to match up with the photo. But we got our final one now, taken from the other side, where they've nearly finished putting it together completely. A little easier to line this one up as I'm going on the central sort of old horse drinking thing. It's full of flowers now on the fountain. Here we go. So there we are, that was the fountain being repaired when Brunch was a dairy maid. And there was a computer shop over there, and Boots was still here, and coasters and fountain court had yet to be built. Back in the day, and we're going to say back in 1995, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was some footballers came to do lifeguarding duty. Professional footballers. They stood there and had their photo taken. Don't have the date. Newspaper cutting. Anyway, here you go. Enjoy. That was just a random one from memory. I thought I must remember to do that one day when I'm walking past the lighthouse. Today is the day I have. And just over there on the left is the King Billy, or the King William, one of the very old pubs of Teignmouth. And I think we may have a then and now. Oh, here we go, then and now the King Billy. Exact date, unfortunately unknown. But here we go. So very similar, same two doors, same windows, same brickwork. Very nice. I've also got a shot of the Jolly Sailor, which I'll do in a day or so, but I want to get another shot to go with it so I can do two at the same time. It'll all make sense when you see it. Final then and now, before I head home from the rain. Over there by Jackman's All Seasons, that was Fort's Cafe on the corner. The Seaview Diner and Takeaway, which we were just talking about, behind those trees. You can't see them, but it's a double story building. And obviously there's the buildings on that side. So we're going back to the 1900s, where the Seaview Diner was single story, and you can just about make out the Fort's Cafe on the corner. There we are, difficult to line that one up properly because of the trees. That was the 1900s Regent Street. So ahead of me is the Devon Arms. Okay, just keep that in mind. That's the hotel pub, or was hotel, I don't think it is anymore. That's over there with the pillars on the doorway. And Minnie Heaven, the pasty shop. And over there, Teignmouth's oldest pub, the Jolly Sailor. Now normally at this point, I would say something like this. So there's a Jolly Sailor, and here it was, years ago, and flash up a picture like this. Well, this will be a bit difficult to line up properly because we've got those flags and everything from the Minnie Heaven seating. But as you probably know, there was a Norman Wisdom film called Pressed for Time, shot in Teignmouth. And one of the clips involved him running along past the Devon Arms Hotel and along there and into the Jolly Sailor pub. Let's see it.
Police! Police! Over the road! There's girls walking about with hardly any clothes on. Don't anyone go over there! It's just like, hear 'em! They've all gone raving mad over there.
And there we are, that's where he would have come out from. That should line up that shot fairly well. Teignmouth's oldest pub, it says, the Jolly Sailor. And it's here in Northumberland Place. Norman Wisdom pressed for time film 1963, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. If I'm wrong, I'll put like a thing up over the video saying the right date. There's the pier as it looks today, with half the roof painted black again, which is great. Wonder what it looked like in Edwardian times. So that was the pier in Edwardian times. Right, let's crack on. One last learner now. Okie dokie. Big storms in 2014. Part of the pier got damaged, along with the wall next to it. Here you go. So that was 2014, after the storms, when that wall got damaged.